Hi everyone, I'm very happy to show you the Qalico TraceX integration today. So we are going to walk you through an end-to-end process that allows you to do your regulatory monitoring from the monitoring update, like doing the redlining, impact assessment, taking actions, all from something's changing on some FDA website or any other regulatory sources, up to like modifying your QMS in TraceX and be ready for your next audit. So let me get started and share my screen. So we've taken an example customer, which is a company called Yasso that has one device, and we set up Qalico here with one product. And you do see here that Yasso is a clinical decision support platform built to detect IRDS. And we've set up some regulatory region that we want to track. So here we have United States and Australia, and we have an active device for cardiovascular oncology and respiratory and anesthesiology. So that's our company profile. According to that, we've set up some subscriptions as well. So we'll seeing like the 2021 CFR as expected. We should have some IMDRF stuff as well because we are in Australia. So let me check that real quick. IMDRF documents that we've set up here. Of course, we've set up some standards, some ISO standards that we want to track according to the device that we are following here. We have 20 selected ISOs here, and of course, we'd be able to select much more if that was relevant. And we do have some news sources as well. Here we have checked like the Brazil official news thread that we want to track. And last but not least, we've set up our TraceX integration here. We have our API token that was provided by TraceX, and so this will allow us to send updates once we've identified them directly into your QMS. So what Qalico gives you is an updated thread of regulatory news that are automatically triaged by the AI, and that streamline this review process to allow you to do a very quick regulatory monitoring on a monthly or quarterly basis as you want. That's going to be custom to your device. So here you see many different updates that were surfaced by the software and some recommendation on like what is applicable or not. So I can open like one of them. Here I have a new guidance from Australia, and Qalico gives me an update summary, an impact assessment, some recommendation, and then can say this is applicable or not, and add some justification and action plan. And here I can say action 1, action 2, action 3 just for the sake of the exercise. And why is the justification is like, okay, we do have software and need to check this. Probably you could do a better job. I'm just gonna open another one just to see like what happens when we have a revision, even if this one is not applicable, or actually that's the AI suggestion. I could said that, but what I wanted to show you here is like the red line. I mean, this is a very small update. Let me grab a bigger one. Up here we would see the red line of up here we have a new update that's red line directly in the platform. So Qalico helps you like surface whatever is new, and helps you like really also see like what's been changing in a very intuitive way. The goal of all of this is to have an audit table. We're gonna find like all the updates with impact assessment, recommendation, and here you see the one which is sorted out with the justification and action plan that we've done. This is basically an audit ready audit table, and what we want to do now is just like send that to TraceX and move on to like implementing the changes. So let me click there and see what happens. Okay, so we exported like 34 updates to TraceX, and I guess, Charles, I'll hand it to you.
Thank you, Etienne. So yes, I will be sharing my screen. Let me share and to show you guys what's on our side. Okay, so here we are, and as you see, so here we have a notification center. I won't spend too much time in the presentation of the overall QMS, but just to let you know that we have notification center, which is like all the, you said 33 items, Etienne. So yeah, so you have all,
I think, yes.
34. Okay.
Yeah.
You can see that I received all these new items, and that means that I have it's like a notification center. I have a to do something notified to me. So also I can go into the card section, and then I will see them. Let me make it a bigger place. Actually displayed here. So you can see that I received all these 34 I confirm. Then, so I have all my updates here. So the question is like, what can I do now with these updates? So with these updates, the idea is like to action them, to review them, to see if we need to make an action. And if we need to make an action, then to action them. And then, of course, there is the reporting part. So the reporting part is being is often is being used like on a quarterly basis, usually in a company, but that's really based on your procedure. So let's take an example. Let's take the IMDRF AI. So this guy, then I can see here. So if you open this one, you can see that. Second, yes, good. So if you open this one, you can see that you have like the various information that are coming from Qalico. So like the link, the external link, where did it come from, the Qalico link, the information from Qalico, that was a summary. Then we got the impact assessment and the suggested actions. So what are we going to do? So we're going to actually follow the suggested actions for the sake of this demonstration. So here I will take this first action and say, okay, first action, is an action needed? I will say yes. Okay. So I'm really guided through by the system. Then I need to add an action. Okay. What's the name? So the name is the name actually I just got. Get the point, which is not needed. Here, who is going to be the owner? Let's say it's going to be me. And set up a due date, let's say 24th of June. Then I can add other actions, or you can see at the bottom, you can see that my actions are actually linked to my updates, and it's marked as not closed yet. It's not done. I'm adding another action. So let's use this one, for example. Okay, add an action. I'll put title. Yes. Yes, that's good. Then what the owner, that's going to be me again. Let's say the due dates, and I save. So I can go on and on and on and on, but I will stop here. So I'm stopping adding actions. So I have my two actions here. Of course, if you remember, we can also see them in the notification center. So here I'm on my updates, and here are my action. Let's start by one. So here is my first action, conduct comprehension, blah, blah, blah. So then they will ask me to enter the full text. So I will fill, and I'm again taken by the end. So yeah, action review result. So I'm gonna set Etienne as a reviewer. And you can see that I set up a description. I have my ID of my action. I have my due date and so on. It's open, of course. And I will send to my reviewer for him to review my action plan at this stage.
Perfect. Am I ready, like, to review?
Yeah, please.
Perfect. So I'm here in Calico, and
Yeah, no, that was good.
so that's the right one. And so I should have a notification here
The red dot,
in
yeah,
my
perfect.
inbox. And I do see here, I'm going to review it, confirm approval, putting my password here for signature, and here we go.
And it's back to me. So now I will show my screen. Okay, so here we go. So we can see that Etienne has completed his review. So my plan is reviewed. So I can actually make the action. So I'll complete the action and then I will fill the closure, let's say, tag. So is it completed? Yes. The reviewer, I'm going to put the same guy. He has been very efficient in the first time. So, and evidence section, evidence in, we can reference a document in doc. I mean, we can tag whatever. Let's say this one for the sake of the demonstration. So you can see I have my evidence, I have my action is completed, and then of course I need to send to review to ensure that this has been implemented correctly. So it's back to you, Etienne.
Yes, let me share my screen again. And here I am, and I got this notification. I will approve that right there. And back to you.
Perfect. So now, okay, here it is. Yeah. So now you can see that this action has been verified and approved. So review and approved. So it's completed. If I go back, you can see at the bottom, yeah, here, it's still, you remember, it's linked to my update. So then I can see one action is completed and another one is not completed. I will leave it that way on purpose for the sake of the demonstration. So one is and one is not. So now I will go to my table, and the idea is to create a report. So quarterly or whatever. So you go here, then you have traceability matrix. You can set up your column the way you want. Then I have my regulatory monitoring updates. Yes, is my action needed? Actions, what are the status? Are they completed or not? The due date and the close. So it's also very good to have the traceability. And you can see where you are and show. You can also filter and so on. Now I will copy the entire table here and I will create a report to show my management what has been done this quarter. So I go to here, I'll go to documentation control. I will create a new document. I will select ISO, which is my product. Then yes, yes. So let's call it ISO. Oops. Regulatory monitoring Q1 2026, for example. You can see it automatically as a prefix. I go next. I'll put the same reviewer and approver because we're just two. And I'm going to create a draft. So here, okay, so you can see my draft has been created and has been, it's a basic one, right? It's been created out of a template. And then I'm going to create ISO, applicable to ISO. Okay. I'm in the ISO product. I'm going to open it. Space here. Okay. And you can see, boom, boom, boom. I have my table, which is very, very basic, but I can remove this section and copy my table. So I'll make it a little bit bigger for us to see a bit more. So you can see that I have all my monitoring updates and my the action needed. Yes, you can remember. So we said action was needed, and then we have these two actions, and then we have these due dates, and one is closed and one is not. And if you remember, all these ones we didn't do any action. So I just, for the sake of the demonstration, I copied all of them, but we can of course filter. So what am I gonna do? So now am I gonna send for review? So I'm gonna send it to Etienne. I will sign it as the author of my document, so that would prove that I control what I sent, and you can see that my document is currently in a review. So Etienne is on the document with notification.
Yeah, I'm completing the review. Up.
And you can see that this is moved to reviewed. So we can see it here. I sign as a reviewer, Etienne side, I sign as the author, sorry, and Etienne side as a reviewer. Now I'm going to send to the approvers, same guy, but you got the point. And Etienne, same as before, receive notification and so on. So now the document is effective. Here it's like locked, so we cannot change anything. And if there are some updates for the next quarter, we can draft a new version. Then let's assume like the cards, the updates have been like we are continuing the actions in here. And then for the next version, we can like go here and we will just need to refresh table, and we will be able to see the latest of what has been implemented here. So this is it. This is how we do end-to-end regulatory monitoring, from like getting the information and like doing like really being like help like with AI to do all the assessment, to suggest some action, to do all the preparatory work, and to be able to then to complete the actions and to record it and control it in a QMS. So end-to-end integration. Anything to add, Etienne, on this?
No, thanks a lot, everyone, and don't hesitate to reach out to Charles or myself if you have any question.
Bye, guys.
Bye.